Welcome to Lovely T's Kitchen. Today we're going to do breakfast and then we're going to do lunch. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, we are going to make homemade hash browns. And if you have a processor, it's amazing. Go ahead and use it. If you're like me, I don't have one of the attachments for it, so that's not happening. So we're going to use the old school, and we're going to use this grater, and we're just going to grate our potatoes. But first we have to wash our potatoes. I got my water here and I got the potatoes soaking. We're going to peel our potatoes, and we're going to peel them, and then we're going to go ahead and use our grater and grate the potatoes. It's so amazing to be able to show you all exactly what I'm doing. So I'm so excited about all that. So you're gonna peel all your potatoes. So it just depends on how many people you are going to be feeding. So of course, if you need 2 or 3, do 2 or 3. If you need 6, then you do 6. So we're gonna keep on peeling these. And then we're gonna rinse them off real good before we start grating them. And then we're gonna get our oil ready for our skillet so we can make our wonderful, yummy hash browns. So we have peeled all our potatoes, and now we are going to start making our hash browns. We're gonna grate them. And I did change the water in the container because I washed it in there, and then I rinsed them. So we are all clean and everything is all good. So old-fashioned grater. You see I have my colander, and I have a glass pan underneath that to catch the water because they do tend to be a little wet. You can do it either way when you put it on the skillet. It will be a little bit moist and it will take a little bit longer to cook. Or you can get a cheesecloth and strain them out. Or if you don't have a cheesecloth, you can take a paper towel and kind of squeeze it out, squeeze the juice. And that way the moisture will get out of there, and it won't be as wet and it won't take as long to cook them. So you don't want to put regular oil on the skillet because it will make it real greasy, and no one wants that. So you'll put a little bit of butter on the skillet, and then you'll put a little bit, once you put the hash browns down, the potatoes down, you'll put a little bit of oil and seasoning on top of that. But we will see the process as we do it. So right now we're just going to keep doing our potatoes and get it going. And we're going to also make biscuits and eggs. So I'm just using a regular canned biscuits, and I'll show you those in a few minutes, and we'll get it going. So we have finished with our potatoes, and if you can see at the bottom, this is all juice from the potatoes. So you may not have to take a cheesecloth or a paper towel and drain it, because it seems like it's draining really well by itself. But just in case, you may want to take a cheesecloth and or a paper towel and drain it. So this is just a paper towel because I don't have any cheesecloths, and you just press against it and then just watch all the juice come out of it, because we don't want it to be real wet. It'll take longer to cook, so we want it to be as dry as possible, so that way it's a better product. So you'll see all that juice down there. Now we're going to get our skillet ready. And in the mix of that, I'm going to show you the biscuits that we're going to use. And then we're going to make some sausage patties. And we're going to make some eggs. This is our Pillsbury dough honey butter biscuits, and this is what we're going to use today. We have 1 tablespoon in the pan, and I will show you that. But before we put this in the pan, we're going to preheat to 350. That's our oven. And then we are going to take the pan with the 1 tablespoon of butter and melt that first, and then put everything down. Okay, so the butter has been melted, and you can really see the butter, so that's wonderful. So now you're going to open up your and then you're going to line them up, which is real easy to do. And put them in there, kind of move them around into that butter so that they're not all dried out on the top. Little room to breathe, and then we're gonna put them in the oven. I had 1 extra one. We're gonna put those in the oven. So now we are getting ready to do our hash browns. So we are going to put a little bit of butter on there, kind of get that going. Just enough to kind of get the skillet wet. Not enough to do anything like drown it in the oil or anything like that. And we are going to take our hash browns, move them around, kind of spread them out. And then what I did is I put some salt and pepper in a container. Just mix it all together, so that way I don't have to keep opening and shutting stuff, and it's already done. Then we're gonna put a little bit of the oil on top of that, which is the butter. Just drizzle it on there and let that sucker fry. Put our paper towel back over that, and now we got it going. We're gonna let that cook and get crispy on one side, and then we're gonna flip it over and let it get crispy on the other side, and then it's gonna be ready. Okay, now we're doing our sausage, just regular old Jimmy Dean sausage. And then here go our beautiful biscuits. So now we're getting ready to make our eggs, and we have 3/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, and then we're going to put our eggs in there. So I'm going to use 6 eggs, and then you will beat them up really nicely and put your salt and pepper or whatever seasoning you want to put in there, and you're just going to sprinkle to taste. And you put your salt and pepper or whatever seasoning you want to use. Put that in there. And then you're going to take your whisk, mix it up really nicely. Really nicely. Make sure it's beat really well. And then you're going to put it in your preheat skillet. Put a little bit of canola. And then you're going to let that form a little bit better. You're going to let it, and then kind of move it around. And what that heavy whipping cream does, it just makes it really pretty and bright and yellow. And it adds a really nice flavor to it too, but it has it all fluffy. That's the whole point of it, really. Just kind of move it around. You don't want it to stick to the pan. And then you want like an over easy, and then even then, you don't want it to really stick too much. So you'll keep doing that until it all cooks. Here is our breakfast. We have our hash browns, and we have our biscuit and our sausage. So here we go.
1 hour later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
And we're gonna do our salad now. Make sure you clean it and take the tail off. If you need to devein it, take your knife, put a slit in the back of it, and then just clean it all out. Make sure you wash them really well. On the skillet, I have 3 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna saute the shrimp. We're gonna put chipotle, and we're gonna put Cajun perfect seasoning and salt and pepper. It is to taste. I do have 4 boiled eggs that I did earlier, and you want them to be cool when you take the shell off. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. So I have put the shrimp in the skillet with the butter, and I put the seasoning to taste. On here we like a lot of seasoning, so like I said, it is to taste. It's up to you how much you want on it. You may not take a whole lot, but seafood or chicken, stuff like that, it needs a little bit of more seasoning, because what happens is it sucks it all up, and sometimes it kind of blends in a little bit and you can't really get what you're needing. So just a little bit, not too heavy, especially like salt. It'll be real salty, so you don't want to do that overkill, but you do want to, season it pretty well. So we get it all together here, let it saute. You got your butter in here, and you're gonna let it go. Now, when I did tell you that I had boiled some eggs, so that took about 20 minutes to boil the egg, just in case someone doesn't know. It took about 20 minutes, and then I let it cool down, because we do not want hot eggs in our salad. So you're gonna let this go for probably about 20 minutes, and just keep moving it around until it gets sauteed exactly the way you want it. I like it a little bit of a crisp on it, not too much, but just enough to kind of taste it when you're eating your salad. So we're gonna put that all together. We're gonna peel our eggs, and then we also are going to get some more stuff together for our beautiful. Okay, we have our carrots, which is 1 cup of carrots. Of course, you wash that and clean that. We have our cherry tomatoes, which we cut that in half. We have our eggs, and we just used a grater and just grated those. We have our lovely shrimp. And then we have our Texas croutons. It's New York Texas croutons. And then we have our Parmesan cheese. So the Parmesan cheese, we're just going to sprinkle to taste. We're going to use spinach. Spinach is a lot more easier to digest. So you can get whatever you want as far as the base. So if you want to do romaine, if you want to do lettuce, that's your preference. But we're gonna put it all together. You wash your spinach in cold water. I have it all bedded out. Now we're gonna put, this is a teaspoon, so we're gonna sprinkle the eggs. Now, if you really like eggs, you can go to town on it. Put as much as you want on here. And then just take a little bit, sprinkle the carrots. You don't really want to OD it. It takes it away from the salad. Take some tomatoes. And then you're gonna take some Parmesan. You're gonna take your shrimp. And then you're gonna take your croutons. You don't need a whole lot. If you can get a really good look at that beautiful salad. And now we're gonna drizzle our dressing on there, and you don't want to overdo that either. Sometimes just a little is just enough. I love cheese, so put a little bit more, and then voila, your salad, your shrimp salad. Thank you for joining me today at Lovely T's Kitchen. It has been a blast. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.